Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Work in Progress Wednesday, I have a gang of CM Punk figures that I'm going to finish up. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. All right, I'm back, and like I said, I've got some CM Punk figures that I'm going to finish up here. I have kind of been on like a CM Punk binge lately. I have a few that I've just added to my collection that I don't even think I uploaded to the channel. I have done a couple on the channel, but eventually they'll make their way. You'll see everything. I'm thinking about changing things up a little bit, but I haven't quite figured out what I want to do. So we're going to just continue the way we have been, and today I've got some CM Punks. So the CM Punk in the red is from the Royal Rumble in 2010, I want to say. He was still leading the Straight Edge Society. He came in at like number 3, and then he eliminated people one by one and like preached in the ring. So I thought that was a cool moment. I wanted to add that to my collection. So I actually had the basic. So that's where the boots are from. So it's basic articulation on those, which I really just pose. So it's not a big deal. But I wanted to keep pieces as normal as possible. So that's what I've been trying to focus on, is not having to paint as much just because it looks cleaner. So the thighs and the crotch piece are from the Elite Finn Balor that came with in those red tights, and he had like white boots. And we've gotten a lot of Finns. I can't remember what series it was, but if you know, you know. You probably know which one I'm talking about. And then the head is from a different basic Punk, and then both the yellow and the red Punks have the basic arms, but I'm going to put these shoulder tattoos on. I will probably have a shirt on the yellow Punk. So we'll go to the yellow Punk. The head is from the Jazzwares figure. I have a bunch of CM Punk's head. I just figured I'd pop that one on there. I did have to Dremel it out a little bit to get it to fit. This one was a little more interesting to put together. The crotch piece and the boots are from a Mustafa Ali figure, that first Elite that we got, the non-chase version. So what I did was heat up the legs, and then I popped off the upper thighs, or lower thighs, and then I actually cracked the hips. No, I cracked the thigh. So I'll show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. So I heated up the other figure. I popped this off, and then I used my X-Acto knife to crack this part. So then I shaved down the ratchet joints, and then I put ball joint legs on the yellow CM Punk. So this is going to be the pipe bomb CM Punk here, and you can see. Whoop! Now you can see it moves freely. These are ball joint legs. I just shaved down the ratchet joint so that he had more flexibility, which I think that our CM Punk figures need, which we definitely Jazz wears, but the old CM Punk legs are on ratchet joints and they are stiff, so I didn't want to do that for my customs. I say that as I use basic knees. Not a big deal. Anyway, the middle one is one one of my first customs I ever did was this G.I. Joe CM Punk, and honestly, I've always been really happy with it, but there's like the line work isn't great. The CM Punk on the belt, or on the trunks, is kind of crooked. I'm really just being nitpicky, but I wanted to go back. I wanted to fix it up, so I did get some decals. So I have decals for all these guys. So I'll have the Pipe Bomb Punk, I'll have the Rumble Punk, and then WrestleMania 26 is when he wore this camo gear, and I'm going to just use decals to fix that up. I'm going to just give him new boots entirely. So I'm going to swap on these black boots, just so I don't have to like scrape all that off and spend time repainting it black. So I'm just going to swap those black boots onto him. The head scan, however, is one I worked on this a little bit before deciding to redo this Punk. So this is a head scan from Headeration when I was shopping for a few items, I saw this and I was like, what the heck? I'm not going to get that ringside exclusive figure. It's so expensive. I just don't want to spend that much. So I just painted this one up myself. And I mean, you can see it just pops right off. It's swappable. I am going to repaint the eyes because they're, like, the eyes are brown. You can't even really tell. But since the brown is dark and then the pupils are dark, they just look like real beady eyes. So I'm going to repaint the eyes as well. But that is going to be everything today. So mostly some decal work. Got a little bit of swapping to do, but I think these are going to look fantastic when I'm done. So I'll be right back. And we're back. And these are punks that I've always wanted in my collection. I did not collect when the Straight Edge Society punk came out. I think I was still just not back into collecting yet. I kind of took a break when I went to college. And like, I don't even remember. I think I kind of stopped actively collecting. Like, as a kid, I just kind of got wrestling figures when I could. And I didn't really get them as gifts because no one in my family knew which ones I didn't have. Because I had a ridiculous amount. I kind of fell off for a while, and then sometime in college, I started collecting again. But I was not collecting when the ringside exclusive Straight Edge Society punk came out. It's not one that I want to pony up and pay for because it is still pretty pricey. I know this is not a 100% accurate representation, but it is one that works for me. Excuse me. Obviously, I don't have the tattoos on his shoulders. I'll probably get some decals to put on all of my punks. I did put the AMA decals on the punk, or on the Straight Edge Society punk, and the long hair and the mask are both interchangeable, so I can move both of those around. I'm just going to keep it like this, even though I don't think it's entirely accurate. I think at WrestleMania 20... What WrestleMania was that? Was it 26? WrestleMania 26, I think, is when Punk had long hair and he wore his G.I. Joe attire and wrestled Rey Mysterio in his Avatar attire. I think that was it. So it's not entirely accurate, but on my shelf, it works for me. I like how the red turned out. I mean, it was just kind of like decals on the trunks, really. I did have to paint just a tiny bit on the sides, just to get the black and the white, but that was very simple. The kick pads obviously were the basic, so I didn't have to do anything there, and it's a pretty simple fix-up. Like, I just used mostly Mattel parts as much as I could. The pipe bomb punk, though, that one was took a little more time. I put the Jazzwares head on him. He's got the Stone Cold shirt from the pipe bomb promo. That's from Threadhead Customs. And then so he's got just the non-colored arms. I did pick up some tattoos, though, so I think what I'm going to try and do is get some double-jointed arms and lay the tattoos on those for this figure, just because I really like how it all came together. So the boots are all decals. The trunks are decals. I like the thicker legs. They are ball joint legs too, so there's more range of motion. I wish the chest tattoo was a little wider for the CM Punk figures. They're the tattoos I get from Curbstomp. So I might look around, maybe get some different decals, try some different things out, but overall, I'm really happy with these. I'm going to do a showcase soon with all of my Punk figures. I have a ton of Punk customs. I actually think I only have like 3 or 4 Punk figures that are a straight, like an official release that I haven't done any touching up to. Most of them are customs, and that's kind of a recent thing. I just recently kind of got the itch to make a bunch of CM Punk figures. I mean, he basically wore a different color pair of trunks or different boots combination like every week. So there's a ton of stuff out there. Quite a few iconic moments with some iconic attires. Like, I want to make his black and pink, I think, is what he wore when he won Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 25. I'd like to do that one. Gosh, I mean, we've got Money in the Bank. I probably will do some more of his AEW attires, do his Bret Hart tribute attire from SummerSlam. Just a lot of really cool ones that I'm sure I'll add to my collection at some point. But yeah, I'm not going to bring them all in for a comparison. I think these three are all good enough next to each other. They look pretty good. Height's a little different just with those different legs in the middle, but overall, I'm really happy with how these look, and I'm pretty excited to get to that CM Punk showcase eventually. That's going to wrap things up for today for Work in Progress Wednesday. If you like watching what I do here, check out the playlist that has all of my Work in Progress Wednesday videos. And like, share, subscribe. I always say that. I always appreciate it. I always appreciate talking about figures. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy figures. Figure Dude out.